Feel that. Before we speak of stars or of gods, feel that in your body. There is a heat that has been building for weeks, low in your belly, just behind the navel. It is not the burn of anxiety, though it may have borrowed its language. It is not the fever of illness. It is a clean, dry heat, the heat of a forge. At night, it keeps you from deep sleep. You turn over and over, your legs restless as if they are meant to be walking toward something you cannot yet see. Your hips feel tight, locked, as if a great tension is being held in the root of you. You have been calling this restlessness. You have been calling this stress. You have been treating it as a symptom of a life that is too much, a sign that you need to slow down, to pull back, to quiet the noise. Let me give it its true name. That heat is the gathering of your will. That restlessness is the stirring of your direction. That tension is the drawing of a bow. This is not a sign that you are breaking down. It is the undeniable physical evidence that you are being prepared for a launch. Something cosmic has its hands on you, and it has been tightening the string for months. You are not tired because you are weak. You are tired from holding the tension of an arrow that is begging to be released. And within the next 72 hours, the alignment that has been drawing this bow reaches its perfect, singular point of aim. The sky will open, the target will be illuminated, and the command will be given. Not from me, not from the stars, but from a part of you that has been waiting for this exact moment to speak. The part of you that knows the difference between movement and action. The part of you that is done with waiting. What is happening is an alliance. A sacred and rare pact has been forged in the heavens between the planet of action and the planet of expansion. Between the warrior and the king. Between Mars and Jupiter. And this is not a gentle invitation. It is a massive, undeniable push forward. It is the hand of the divine on the small of your back, guiding you firmly through a door you have been standing in front of for far too long. So breathe into that heat for a moment. Acknowledge the tension in your body not as a problem to be solved, but as a power that has been accumulating. I'm going to walk you through why this is happening to you, what it is asking of you, and the precise ritual to perform to ensure that when this arrow is finally released, it flies true. Because this is the shot you have been waiting your entire life to take. To understand the weight of this moment, you must understand the two forces at play. They are not simply planets. They are ancient principles, gods who have walked through the human psyche for millennia. First, there is Mars. In the old tongues, he is Aries, he is Mangala. He is the principle of severance. He is the sharp edge that defines one thing from another. He is the courage to say no. He is the fire in the blood that defends a boundary. He is the will that says this far and no further. Mars is the energy of the first step, the clean cut, the necessary conflict. For years, in a culture that fears confrontation, you have been taught to soften your Mars, to sheathe your sword, to blunt your edges, to find compromise where none exists. You have been told that your sacred anger is hysteria, that your firm boundary is cruelty, that your driving will is selfish ambition. And so, your Mars has been operating in the shadows. It has become the passive aggression, the resentment that churns in your gut, the sharp words you speak only to yourself in the car. It has become the projects you start and never finish, the phantom illnesses that give you an excuse not to act, the endless cycle of preparing to prepare. The heat you feel in your solar plexus is your Mars, your warrior, finally being called out of the shadows and back into the light. It is being given a divine instruction. It is being handed a worthy weapon. And then there is Jupiter, Brihaspati, the guru, the great expander. Jupiter is the principle of faith, of vision, of meaning. If Mars is the energy to take a step, Jupiter is the belief that there is a path worth walking on. If Mars is the sword, Jupiter is the righteous cause for which it is drawn. Jupiter is the part of you that knows there is something more. It is the ache for purpose, the yearning for a bigger story, the unwavering belief, even on your darkest days, that your life is meant for something. It is the voice that whispers, "This is not it," when you are in a job that drains your soul or a relationship that shrinks your spirit. Jupiter is the map of your potential. It is the grand design. For a long time, your Jupiter may have felt like a burden, a curse. It has been the source of your divine dissatisfaction. It has made you feel restless in perfectly comfortable situations. It has made you feel like an alien in your own life, because the vision it holds for you is so much grander than the reality you have been told to accept. It is the reason you look up at the night sky and feel a pang of homesickness for a place you have never been. These two forces, the warrior and the king, rarely work in such perfect harmony. Often they are at odds. You have the will, but no vision, a sword swung in the dark at imagined enemies. That is Mars without Jupiter. Or you have the grand vision, but no will to act, a beautiful map of a country you will never visit. That is Jupiter without Mars. You have felt this division in your own life. The days you are filled with fiery energy but have no idea where to point it, so you clean the house with a furious intensity or pick a fight over nothing. And the days you are filled with beautiful dreams and expansive ideas, but you feel paralyzed, unable to take even the smallest step to make them real. What is happening now, in this brief, sacred window, is that the warrior has been called into the throne room of the king. The will has been given its true north. The sword has been consecrated for a holy purpose. The energy to act and the vision of what to act upon are finally, powerfully, irrevocably aligned. This is not just a push. It is a coronation of your own sovereignty. It is the universe declaring that your will and your faith are no longer two separate things. They are the two hands drawing the same bow. Let us speak of this bow. Let us use this as our guide, for the metaphor is the truth. For the last year, perhaps longer, you have felt as though you are being pulled backward. Opportunities have dissolved, paths have closed, relationships that once felt certain have become strained or have ended. You have pushed against doors that would not budge. You have felt a profound sense of resistance, of being held in place while the world moved on without you. You may have interpreted this as failure, as a sign that you were doing something wrong, that you were being punished, that you were not worthy of the forward momentum you craved. You looked at others, seemingly flying forward, and felt the sting of being left behind. This was not a punishment. This was the draw. An arrow cannot be fired from a position of rest. It must be pulled back against the tension of the bow itself. The further it is pulled back, the more potential energy it gathers. The greater the tension, the more powerful its eventual flight. Everything you have experienced as a setback, every delay, every frustration, every moment of feeling stuck has been the hand of the cosmos pulling you back, back, back. It has been stretching your capacity, building your resilience, forcing you to gather your strength in ways you would not have chosen. The universe was not denying you. It was aiming you. It was increasing the tension on the string so that when the moment of release finally came, you would not just move, but fly. You would not just drift, you would pierce. That feeling of being held, of being constrained, that was the fletching of the arrow being set perfectly against the string. That feeling of isolation, that was the archer closing one eye to better see the target. That feeling of burning impatience, that was the gathered kinetic energy trembling in the wood and sinew of the bow. You are at the point of maximum tension now. The bow is drawn taut. The muscles in your spiritual body are screaming with the effort of holding this position. The heat is almost unbearable. You are looking back at all that you have lost, all that has been taken, all that has been denied, and you are mistaking the direction of the draw for the direction of the flight. You have been looking backward for so long you have forgotten that the entire purpose of this tension is to send you forward. This alignment of Mars and Jupiter is the moment the archer takes the final, steadying breath. It is the moment the aim becomes crystal clear. It is the final instant before the release. And the signs who are feeling this most acutely are the ones whose very nature is tied to these two celestial gods. They're the ones holding the bow. For those of you born under the signs of Aries and Scorpio, this is a homecoming. Mars is your ruling planet. The warrior's fire is your native tongue. For you, this is not a foreign energy you are learning to accommodate. This is the activation of your core essence. For you, Aries, the bow has been drawn back in the realm of your very identity. You have been forced to question who you are, the ways you defined yourself, the career, the relationship, the persona, have been challenged or stripped away. You have felt a deep, frustrating sense of being unable to assert yourself, to begin anew, which is your most sacred impulse. You have felt like a fire trapped in a glass box, burning all of your oxygen just to stay lit. This tension has been agonizing. It has felt like a deep betrayal of your own nature. I am the one who begins, you have thought, so why am I being held at the starting line? This was not a prison, Aries. It was a crucible. The universe was burning away every false identity, every borrowed ambition, so that the arrow of your being could be forged from pure, unadulterated will. The target for you is not a goal. It is a self. The release that is coming is the permission to finally, fully, and unapologetically be who you have become in the fire. Your arrow is aimed at the horizon of your own becoming. And for you, Scorpio, your ruler Mars has been drawing the bow back into the deepest, most hidden parts of your life. The 8th house of secrets, of shared resources, of transformation, of debt, both financial and energetic. You have been pulled into a confrontation with power, your own and others. You have been forced to examine the contracts, spoken and unspoken, that govern your life. Where have you given your power away? Where are you entangled in ways that no longer serve your soul's evolution? The tension for you has been a silent, internal pressure cooker. It is played out in your finances, in your intimate relationships, in the psychological patterns you thought you would overcome. You have felt the pull backward as a descent, a journey into the underworld of your own psyche. You were not being dragged down to be destroyed. You were being taken to the source of your true power. You had to go into the dark to retrieve the lost parts of your sovereignty. The target for you is a release from energetic debt. It is the severing of a tie that has been draining your life force. It is the claiming of a power that is rightfully yours, but which you have been afraid to wield. Your arrow is aimed at the heart of an entanglement, and its flight will bring freedom. For both of you, children of Mars, this is your moment. The tension has served its purpose. It is time to prepare for the release. And for those of you born under Sagittarius and Pisces, this is an awakening. Jupiter is your great celestial guide, your patron of faith and expansion. This energy is the wind beneath your wings. For you, this alignment is not so much about forging the will as it is about giving your immense faith a specific, tangible direction. For you, Sagittarius, the bow has been drawn back in the realm of your beliefs, your philosophies, your grand adventures, your very understanding of truth have been put under immense pressure. You, the eternal student and traveler, may have felt profoundly stuck, either physically unable to travel or mentally trapped in a dogma that no longer fits. The world may have seemed to have lost its magic. Your natural optimism may have been tested to its breaking point. You have been asking, what is the point? Where is the meaning? This contraction was not meant to crush your spirit. It was meant to concentrate it. You are being forced to stop looking for truth on a map and to start finding it on the territory of your own soul. You had to stop collecting philosophies and start forging one. The target for you is a new North Star. It is an embodied truth that you are now ready to live, not just study. It is the launching of the grand adventure of your own making, not one you have read about in a book. Your arrow is aimed at a living philosophy, one that will carry you through the next chapter of your life. And for you, Pisces, your guide Jupiter has been drawing the bow back in the most liminal, sensitive, and sacred space of all, the realm of your connection to the divine, to the collective unconscious, to your own dreams. You have felt this tension as a deep, spiritual confusion, a sense of being disconnected from the source that has always nourished you. Your dreams may have been troubled, or you may have felt an overwhelming sense of sorrow or anxiety that did not feel entirely your own. You, the mystic of the zodiac, have felt like you were praying into a void. This was not the universe abandoning you, gentle soul. This was the universe forcing you to dissolve the final boundaries between your spiritual life and your material one. You were being taught that divinity is not something you escape to. It is something you must incarnate. The separation you felt was an illusion, designed to make you seek the sacred in the mundane, the divine in your own hands and feet. The target for you is the grounding of your mystical gifts into a tangible form. It is a creative project, a healing modality, a form of service that takes your immense compassion and gives it a vessel in the world. You are being asked to stop dreaming the dream and start building it. Your arrow is aimed at the intersection of heaven and earth, and its flight will make your spirit manifest. For both of you, children of Jupiter, this is your clarification. Your boundless faith is being given its mission. It is time to find your target. So now we come to the center of the work. The bow is drawn, the warrior's hand is steady, the king's eye is clear. But what is the target? The target is the thing you already know. Let us not pretend otherwise. The target is the unnamed truth you have been carrying like a stone in your gut. It is the conversation you know you must have. It is the resignation letter you have written 1,000 times in your mind. It is the application you have not yet sent. It is the boundary you need to draw with a person you love. It is the forgiveness you need to offer, either to another or, more terrifyingly, to yourself. It is the creative project you have dismissed as a foolish dream. It is the radical act of self-care you have been postponing until you are worthy. It is the honest admission that the path you are on, the one that looks so good on paper, is leading you away from your own soul. Do not look outside of yourself for this answer. I cannot name it for you, because its power lies in the fact that it is yours alone. But you know it. You know it by the way your body reacts when you even dare to think it. Your breath shortens, your stomach clenches. A wave of fear and relief washes over you at the same time. That is it. That is the target. A voice inside you says, "It is impossible. It is too risky. I will lose everything." And then, beneath that, a deeper, quieter, older voice answers. It says, "The risk is in not doing it. The loss has already been happening, slowly, every day that you have denied me." This Mars-Jupiter alignment is flooding that deeper voice with power. It is turning its whisper into a command. The target is whatever moves you from a life of explanation to a life of expression. You have spent years explaining why you were still there, why you haven't left, why you can't start. That is the life of a drawn bow, held in perpetual tension. It is exhausting. It is a slow death. The release of the arrow is the end of explanation. It is a singular, decisive act that requires no justification because it is an expression of your deepest truth. The purpose of this grand cosmic push is not to get you a new job or a new relationship or more money. Those may be the byproducts. The true purpose is to get you into alignment with your own sovereign will. It is to have your inner world and your outer world reflect the same essential truth. The target is honesty, an act of radical, embodied honesty. In the great epic of the East, the Mahabharata, the warrior prince Arjuna stands on the battlefield, his bow in hand. He is the greatest archer in the world, a master of his craft, a true warrior of Mars. But his heart is breaking. Before him are arrayed his cousins, his teachers, his elders, the men he loves and respects. His duty, his dharma, is to fight them, to wage a war that will tear his kingdom and his family apart. He is paralyzed by grief and confusion. His will falters. He lowers his bow and says to his charioteer Krishna, who is the incarnation of the divine, "I cannot fight." His Mars is powerful, but his vision, his Jupiter, is clouded by sentiment and attachment. He sees too much. He sees the past, the future, the pain, the consequences. He is lost in a forest of complexity. And Krishna, the divine guide, the ultimate guru, does not give him a complex philosophical argument. He does not offer a 10-point plan. He performs an act of Jupiterian expansion. He reveals his universal form to Arjuna, showing him the true nature of time, duty, and the soul. He expands Arjuna's vision beyond the personal, into the cosmic, and then he gives him a simple, direct instruction. He points to the enemy lines and says to the archer, "Your work is to fight. The results are not your concern." He simplifies the target. In the final lesson before the great war begins, the master of archery, Drona, tests his students. He places a wooden bird in a tree and asks each prince what he sees. One says, "I see the bird, the tree, the sky." Another says, "I see you, my brothers, the bird." He dismisses them all. Then he comes to Arjuna. "Arjuna, what do you see?" And Arjuna, his focus absolute, his will perfectly aligned with his task, replies, "I see only the eye of the bird." And the master says, "Then release." You have been seeing the whole tree. You have been seeing the branches, the leaves, the sky beyond. You have been seeing your family, your obligations, your fears, the faces of those you might disappoint. You have been lost in the complexity, and it has paralyzed your will. This Mars-Jupiter alignment is your Krishna moment. It is the divine grace that is sweeping away all the distractions, all the peripheral noise, and leaving you with a single point of focus. It is clearing your vision until you can say with absolute certainty, "I see only the eye of the bird." The unnamed truth, the one next right thing, the single act of courage that will change everything. That is your target. All your energy, all the power that has been gathered during the long, painful draw must now be focused on that one single point. The time for seeing the whole forest is over. The time for aiming is now. This is not an intellectual exercise. This is an energetic reality that must be met with a physical act. To align with this cosmic tide, to give your arrow the cleanest possible release, I am going to walk you through a simple 3-day ritual. It begins tonight. This ritual is a way of taking the immense, abstract energy of the cosmos and grounding it through your body into your life. It is an act of co-creation. You are not passively waiting for the push. You are actively participating in the launch. Tonight is day 1, the day of naming. You will need a piece of paper, something beautiful if you have it, but any paper will do. You will need a pen. You are not to type this. The energy must travel from your heart, down your arm, through your hand, and into the ink. Find a quiet space where you will not be disturbed. Light a candle if you feel called to. Sit with your spine straight. Close your eyes. Take 3 deep breaths, and with each exhale, feel yourself dropping deeper into the truth of your body. Place a hand on your solar plexus, on that place of heat. Ask it a simple question. What is the target? What is the one truth that is asking to be acted upon? Do not censor what comes up. Do not judge it. Just listen. It may be a single word, a name, a sentence, a declaration. When you feel it, when you know it in your bones, open your eyes and write it on the paper. Write it clearly and deliberately. Feel the weight of the pen, the texture of the paper. As you write, you are making the unseen seen. You are taking the unnamed truth and giving it a name, a form. You are pulling it from the realm of dream and fear and into the world of matter. Once it is written, do not analyze it. Do not second-guess it. Fold the paper once and place it somewhere safe and sacred for the night. You can place it under your pillow or on an altar, or simply hold it in your hands before you go to sleep. Tonight, you are sleeping with your intention. You are allowing the truth to settle into your being, to permeate your subconscious. This is the first and most crucial step. It is the act of Arjuna declaring, "I see only the eye of the bird." You have named your target. Tomorrow is day 2, the day of release. This is the day you let the arrow fly. You will take your folded piece of paper and find a safe place where you can work with fire. A candle is perfect. A small fireplace or a fire pit is also good. This is not an act of destruction. Let me be very clear. This is an act of transformation. You are not burning the paper to get rid of your intention. You are using the element of fire, the element of Mars, to transform your written intention from a physical object into pure energy. You are releasing it into the ether. You are firing a signal to the universe. Hold the paper in your hands one last time. Read the words you wrote, either silently or aloud. Feel the truth of them in your whole body. Acknowledge the fear that may come with it, and acknowledge the courage that is present alongside the fear. Then, with a feeling of deep reverence and decisive intent, touch the corner of the paper to the flame. As you watch it burn, do not think of it as disappearing. See it as being converted. The paper and ink, the physical representation of your will, are being transformed into light and heat and smoke, into active, moving energy. You are releasing the tension from the bow. You are letting go of control over the outcome. You are trusting the trajectory. Your job was to name the target and release the arrow. The flight is a matter of physics and faith. You are surrendering the how, the when, and the what if, and you are pouring all of your focused power into the now. Stay with the process until the paper has completely turned to ash. Allow the smoke to rise. This is your prayer, your declaration taking flight. This is the arrow, now loosed from the string, soaring towards its destination. On the third and final day, you will perform the act of grounding. This is the Jupiterian part of the ritual, the part that ensures your great act of will finds fertile ground in which to grow and create meaning. You will gather the ashes from yesterday's release. Handle them with care. They are sacred. They contain the concentrated energy of your transformation. You will take these ashes and return them to the earth. You can sprinkle them in a potted plant. You can bury them in your garden. You can take them to a park or a forest and offer them at the base of a strong tree. As you do this, you are completing the circuit. You took an intangible truth from within you, air. You gave it form by writing it, water in the ink. You transformed it with fire, fire. And now you are returning it to the world of form, earth. You are grounding the expansive, fiery energy of this cosmic alignment. You are planting the seed of your new reality. Place your hands on the soil or the earth where you have placed the ashes. Say a simple prayer of thanks. Thank Mars for the courage. Thank Jupiter for the vision. And thank yourself for the bravery to participate in your own becoming. The ritual is now complete. You have aligned your personal will with the celestial will. You have aimed, you have released, and you have grounded. Now you watch. You stay open. You pay attention to the signs and synchronicities that will begin to appear, guiding your next steps. The flight has begun. You did not find this by accident. You were not scrolling aimlessly. Something in you, a part of you that has been tracking this celestial weather pattern for months, recognized the frequency of this message before I even spoke the first word. The heat in your body recognized its name. The tension in your soul recognized the metaphor of the bow. You were led here because you are ready. You are ready to stop explaining your life and start living it. You are ready to trade the exhausting tension of the perpetual draw for the terrifying freedom of the flight. I know the fear that comes with this, the fear of missing the target, the fear of what you might break, the fear of the power you are about to unleash. But let me tell you a secret the archer knows. The greatest danger is not in missing the target. The greatest danger is in never letting the arrow go. It is in dying with the bow still drawn, the potential energy never released, the song of your life still trapped in the sinew and the wood. That is the only failure. What you have done, just by listening to this, just by allowing this truth to land in your body, is an act of profound courage. You have chosen to turn and face the direction of your own becoming. You have chosen to honor the sacred alliance of your will and your faith. Be tender with yourself in the coming days. You have just performed a kind of spiritual surgery. You may feel raw, exposed, sensitive. This is good. It means the armor is coming off. It means you are alive and feeling again. Trust the process. Trust the flight. Trust that an arrow released with such pure intention cannot help but find its mark. To seal this work, to declare to yourself and to the universe that you have received this transmission and are ready to act, I invite you to make a public declaration. In the space below, in the comments, I want you to write 2 words, just 2. Forward momentum. Nothing else. No stories, no explanations. Just that declaration. Forward momentum. This is not for me. This is for you. It is a digital line in the sand. It is an anchor for this new energy. And know this, your declaration will be a gift to every other person who reads it. Someone will be scrolling through, their heart filled with doubt and fear, and they will see your words and the words of others, a rising chorus of courage, and they will find the strength to make their own declaration. Your courage will become their permission slip. This transmission was carried on the back of hundreds of hours of study, of deep listening to the language of the planets and the whispers of the soul. If it has served you, consider subscribing and turning on notifications so that you do not miss the next time the currents shift. The gate does not stay open forever, but there will be others. I am here to help you read the signs. The bow has been drawn. The target is clear. The release is yours. May your aim be true.